Hello and welcome to Sith Lord's 12 Easy and Effective Jungle Tips. First of all, I'd like to state that none of these tips are absolutes. Everything in the league is situational, but if you follow these tips, they should give you a good guide on how to improve in the jungle. Also, perfecting these tips come with time. There's no magic pill that'll take you from bronze to diamond, so the best way to improve is just to keep playing. Tip 1. Save your gap closer. A lot of times in lower elo games, I see junglers engage with their gap closer, but then the enemy laner escapes with a flash or a dash of their own. However, if you hold on to your gap closer until they use their escape, then you are more likely to get on top of them and secure a kill. However, if you have a skill shot, using your gap closer to make the skill shot easier to hit can be a good technique. Examples of this are Lee Sin and Elise. Tip 2. Don't gank when half health or below. This is the absolute easiest way to give the enemy laner a kill. Tilt yourself, tilt your laner, and give the enemy a huge lead. Before ganking, take a second to assess your level, your health, and your mana compared to who you're ganking. 99% of the time, you should not die while ganking since you are the one that is picking the fight. Tip 3. Don't gank just because someone is spamming their ping. Normally, the reason that people do this is because they're super behind, and most likely, the enemy laner can 2v1. If a laner has fallen to the point where they're down 6 kills, your time will be better spent trying to help other lanes so that they will hopefully be strong enough to deal with the lane that has been fed. Tip 4. Farming is better than forcing ganks. I remember when I was first learning to jungle, I felt like I had to gank a certain number of times to feel like I was helping my team. I would try to gank lanes where I had no chance of succeeding, and as a result, I would set myself behind the enemy jungle. If all your lanes are pushed, don't try to force a gank because you feel like you should. Instead, farm up and get items so that when an opportunity does present itself, you can fully capitalize on it. Another pitfall that I know I personally fall victim to is ganking just because your team is complaining about you. Similar to tip 3, this is a good way to set everyone further behind when your time could be better spent making yourself stronger to help your team out later. Tip 5. If behind, farm up and counter gank. This is the easiest way to get back into the game. A couple of kills or assists in one good fight can turn everything around for you. If you're behind and continue ganking, most likely you're just going to give the enemy lane free kills. Instead, drop wards and keep an eye on your lanes for opportunities for a good counter gank while farming. Tip 6. Track flash timers. When someone doesn't have flash, ganks are 100% easier. So if you gank a lane and get a flash, or see an enemy in another lane flash, type into chat so that you know when the flash occurred. Then, for the next 5 minutes, anytime you gank them, you're much more likely to get on top of them and to be able to secure a kill. This is also useful to know for team fights, because some champions, like Annie, are dependent on flash to engage. Knowing if they have flash or not can help you position accordingly. Tip 7. Gank at an angle. Another thing that I see constantly in low elo games is junglers ganking in a straight line. Once the jungler is level with the laner that they are ganking, it is no longer a gank, but instead a chase. When ganking, enter lane and run at an angle behind them. If they turn and run, you will already be traveling on a course to intercept them, instead of chasing them. The other thing that might occur is that they will see that they have no chance of escaping and instead try to fight your laner. This is very good, as long as your lane is healthy enough to fight, and you are close enough to make it the fight a 2v1. Be wary that you don't make your angle too extreme to the point that you don't have time to help your laner fight if the enemy does choose to stay. Tip 8. View matchups in the loading screen. When loading into the game as a jungler, you should be looking at both teams' lanes and analyzing how you envision them playing out and how you want to affect them. Start making yourself a game plan. Do you have a super snowbally top? If so, give them a push to get them rolling. Do they have a super strong mid laner? Shut them down early. One tip for knowing good lanes to gank is how well your teammates can help you. If you have a lane where they have a lot of CC or are very bursty, then they might be a good candidate to gank over someone who has to rely on a difficult skill shot to help you gank. It is also good to consider who you are ganking against. If they have a lot of escapes, then it might be difficult to get a rewarding gank off. Tip 9. Communicate mainly with pings. Chatting in low elo games is 9 out of 10 times a waste. I can guarantee you won't be able to talk your teammates into not being bad before the enemy destroys your nexus. Everything that is important can be conveyed with a ping or a few words. Anything that can't probably isn't important. Explaining to your top why you aren't ganking for him will only upset him. Instead, ignore his chat and ping him only if you do choose to gank. Pinging effectively can save you a lot of time and keeps your concentration on the game. Typing and reading chat is distracting and can lead to you missing a crucial piece of information. Remember, If you're confident and playing well, your team will listen to your pings. Tip 10. Predict where the enemy jungler is. This is often referred to as game sense or jungle sense, and this will develop over time. Once you are comfortable with clearing, you will find that you don't need as much concentration to fight jungle camps. With this new freed up brain power, you should be plotting your next move. One large factor in this is where is the enemy jungler. You can use clues on the map to help you figure this out. Try to put yourself in the enemy's shoes and guess where the enemy is, and factor this into your plans. While this will come with time, it will develop quicker if you actively focus on it. One easy drill to increase your awareness of enemy jungler movements is to watch a replay of yours. Pause it at a point when you don't know where the enemy jungler is, view the map, and try to guess where they are. Then you can toggle the fog of war to see if you are correct. One big tip in finding the enemy jungler is looking to see if one of your lanes is extended. If they are, there's a high probability that they are about to be ganked. Tip 11. Always have a goal in mind. At any point in the game, you should be able to answer the questions, why are you at this spot, and what is your next move? Thinking a few steps ahead is a skill that every jungler needs to have. Remember, kills shouldn't be a goal. They should be a step in reaching a larger goal. Some example goals could be, I'm ganking bottom so that we can get dragon, or I'm helping mid so that we can get this tower and open up the map. Tip 12. If you force a back, shove the minion wave to tower. This is a great and easy way to get gold and experience, which are both very scarce in the jungle. It also denies the enemy's golden experience and gives your laner a clean chance to back. However, this needs to be done intelligently. If you gank top and the wave is still all the way at your team's tower, chances are you won't be able to shove it to the other tower in time. And now, it's time for a bonus tip, since having 13 tips would be very unlucky. The bonus tip is, never, ever blame your teammates. Blaming teammates is an awful, terrible, quicksand mindset and is the biggest reason that people get stuck in bronze. Nothing positive has ever come from dwelling on a loss that is not your fault, and blaming someone else only leads to toxicity and inhibits personal improvement. Here are some simple facts. People have bad games. People make poor decisions. And people also make physical mistakes. You can't chat these away, and letting these mistakes affect you only hurts yourself. There's a 50% chance that your teammates just aren't as good at the game as you are, or even as the laner that they're facing. Any time spent focusing on a mistake is time that you're wasting that could be spent analyzing your own play and making yourself a better player. Yes, I will not pretend that people do not feed and throw games, but by focusing on that, you will miss opportunities that could have helped save the game. Letting this negative mindset go is the absolute #1 best way that you can have more fun while playing this game and to be open to improving at it. Remember, you're the only constant variable in your games, so your play should be your only focus. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more League of Legends content. Catch me streaming over at twitch.tv/SithLordLemley. Stream times are posted on my Twitch profile. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.